Welcome you all. On previous lecture, we have discussed about circuit, network and different terminology associated with the circuit analysis. So analysis means what? Just to find out the different element of the circuit like resistance, inductance, capacitance, and at the same time you have to find out the value of the voltage and current. So for that analysis we have already discussed Kirchhoff's voltage law and Kirchhoff's current law. In this session we are going to discuss about the network theorems. In this particular session we will discuss about the superposition theorem and Thevenin theorem. So basically, as you know, whenever analysis is required for any circuit, so different theorems are also required. These theorems are nothing but it can be these are the tools. So what are the different tools to analyze the circuit? First is Kirchhoff's current law, second is Kirchhoff's voltage law, then node analysis, mesh analysis, and under the network theorem we will discuss different network theorem like superposition theorem, Thevenin theorem, Norton theorem and maximum power transfer theorem. So first of all we have to understand what are the electrical circuit theorems. Electrical circuit theorems are always beneficial to help find voltage and current in multi-loop circuit. These theorems use fundamental rules or formulas and basic equations of mathematics to analyze basic component of electrical or electronics parameter such as voltage, current, resistance and so on. Any complicated network which have several energy sources, and these energy sources may be the voltage source or maybe the current source, and there are multiple resistances, and if the single element response is desired, then we should use the network theorem. Network theorem are also can be termed as a network reduction techniques, and these fundamental theorems include the basic theorems like superposition theorem, Thevenin theorem, Norton theorem and maximum power transfer theorem. So first of all we will discuss about the superposition theorem. So superposition theorem states that any two-terminal linear bilateral network consisting of two or more than two type of energy sources. These energy sources may be the voltage source or current source. Then response in terms of current or voltage in any branch of network is equal to the algebraic sum of response in the required branch, with each energy sources acting individually while other energy sources are replaced by their internal resistance. And what is the internal resistance of ideal voltage source? Internal resistance of ideal voltage source is 0, that means it can be replaced by the short circuit, and internal resistance of ideal current source is infinite, that means it can be replaced by the open circuit. So what are the different steps to apply the superposition theorem? So first step is replace all independent sources with their internal resistances except one source. Find the output either voltage or current due to that active source using the nodal or mesh analysis. And then second step is repeat the step 1 for each of the other independent sources. That means you have to consider one source at a time and remaining sources has to be replaced by their internal resistance. Then find the total contribution by adding algebraically all the contributions due to the independent sources. For instance, considering a circuit shown in the figure A, let the current flowing through the various branches be marked as I1, and the current flowing through resistance I2 and current flowing through resistance is I3, and there is two voltage sources are acting like E1 and another voltage source is E2. You can see here that this voltage source having some internal resistance R1, and this voltage source have internal resistance is 0. That means this voltage source is a ideal voltage source and this one is a practical voltage sources. So according to the superposition theorem, what you have to do? You have to consider one source at a time. So in the previous slide you can see here there is a two voltage sources E1, A2. So what you have to do? You have to consider one source at a time. So we are considering this source E1 at a time, and the second source, that is E2, is replaced by their internal resistance, and this E2 is the ideal voltage source, so it is replaced by the short circuit. So consider only one source E1 and replace the other source E2 by its internal resistance. As its internal resistance is not given, it is taken as 0, or you can say short circuit. Then draw the circuit as shown in the figure B and determine the current in various sections, like you have to find the current I1 dash, you have to find the current I2 dash, and then you have to find the current I3 dash. Then consider the source E2. Here you can see this E2 source has been considered, and the other source, that E1, is replaced by their internal resistance, and internal resistance of that E1 source is resistance R1. Now what you have to do, because you are considering this voltage source E2, so just you have to find the current flowing through all the branches, like branch having resistance R2, this current will be termed as I2 double dash, and this current can be termed as I1 double dash, and this current can be termed as I3 double dash. So what will be the actual flow of the current, you can see, because as superposition theorem states that current or voltage in any particular branch will be equal to the algebraic sum of the response. So in this current, one current was the I1 dash and another current is I1 double dash, and direction of the both the current is opposite direction. So what will be the current I1? I1 is equal to what? I1 dash minus I1 double dash. Similarly, current in resistance I2, so I2 can be calculated as I2 dash minus I2 double dash. Similarly, this current I3 flowing through resistance I3 can be calculated as I3 dash minus I3 double dash. So this is how you can apply the superposition theorem. Now superposition theorem can also be explained with the help of one example. So here you can see this circuit having two type of energy sources. One is voltage source and another is current source. So, and these two sources are considered as ideal energy sources. This is the ideal voltage source and this is the ideal current source. So first step is what? You have to consider one source at a time. So we are going to consider this current source first. So we are taking this current source, and what will be the other source? This source has to be replaced by their internal resistance, and this is the ideal voltage source. So ideal voltage source means resistance is 0. So it will be replaced by the short circuit. So here you can find out the current flowing through all the branches, like current through this 8 ohm resistance. So this current I2 is flowing, will be divided in these two branch, this branch and another this branch. So you have to find the current in 8 ohm resistance. It will be termed as I1. So how you can calculate I1? I1 can be calculated as total current, that is 2 ampere. It will be divided in this resistance, 8 ohm resistance and 2 ohm. So how do you calculate this current? Just you multiplied current multiplied by the resistance of opposite branch. So this branch is opposite to the this branch. So just multiply 2 into 2 and divide by summation of the resistance of these two branches. So this branch have resistance 2 ohm and this branch have resistance 8 ohm. So I1 is equal to what? 2 into 2 upon 2 plus 8. So this current is coming 0.4 ampere, and you can notice the direction of the current. Current is flowing from B to A. Now this step is over. Now you have to consider another source, and another source is what? This 20 voltage source. So you consider this 20 voltage source here, and you replace another source by their internal resistance. And what is other source? Is current source, and internal resistance of ideal current source is infinite. Infinite means what? It is an open circuit. So you are replacing this current source by the open circuit. So now again you have to find this current I2. Here you can see whatever the current will flow through this 20 voltage source will flow only in this path only, because this is an open circuit. So there is no current in the 4 ohm resistance. So whatever the current is being flown due to this voltage source will flow through only this path. So that means this 2 ohm and 8 ohm resistance will work as a load for this voltage source. So what will be the current flowing through this 8 ohm resistance? I2 is equal to this 20 volt divided by summation of the resistance of these two branches. That means 8 plus 2. So I2 is equal to what? 20 upon 2 plus 8. So 20 upon 10, that is 2 ampere, and this current is flowing from A to B. So you can notice here when you were considering this 22 ampere current source, current direction of the current was from B to A. When you are considering this 20 voltage source, the current is flowing from A to B. That means direction of the current are in opposite direction. So what will be the net current flowing through this 8 ohm resistance? It will be the algebraic sum. So resultant current in the 8 ohm resistance is equal to what? I2 minus I1, because this I2 current is more in comparison to the I1. So net current is what? I2 minus I1, that means 2 minus 0.4. So it is a 1.6 ampere. So this current is flowing from A to B. So this is how you can apply the superposition theorem. So superposition theorem states that if there is a two or two type of sources are working, then you have to find the response in any particular branch. So you have to consider one source at a time, and remaining sources will be replaced by their internal resistance. And then the current or voltage in any branch will be equal to the algebraic sum of the response calculated due to the individual sources, and while remaining sources are replaced by their internal resistance. So next theorem that we are going to discuss is Thevenin theorem. So Thevenin theorem states that any two terminal linear bilateral active network consisting of energy sources, these energy sources may be the voltage sources or maybe the current sources, and resistors can be replaced by Thevenin voltage VTH in series with the Thevenin resistance RTH. Now question is, what is Thevenin voltage? Thevenin voltage is nothing but it is a open circuit voltage across two terminal. And what is the RTH? RTH is a equivalent resistance, or you can say it is a Thevenin resistance looking from two terminal into a network while all independent energy sources are replaced by their internal resistance. So if there is a ideal voltage source, that means you have to replace this voltage source by the short circuit. If there is a ideal current source, then you have to replace by their internal resistance, that is by the open circuit. Here you can see, so figure A shows the simple block representation of the network with the several active and passive element with the load resistance RL connected across the terminal A and B. Here you can see this is a network, and this is replaced by this open circuit, and this one is a load resistance RL. So you have to find the voltage across this terminal AB when this load resistance is replaced. So this will be the open circuit, or you can say this is the Thevenin voltage. And what about the Thevenin resistance you are calculating? Just you put in the series with the Thevenin voltage, and then you put the load resistance here. So how you can calculate this current I equal to what? VTH upon RTH plus RL. So what is the Thevenin voltage? Thevenin voltage is open circuit voltage across two terminal, and Thevenin resistance is equivalent resistance looking from two terminal into a network while all independent energy sources are replaced by their internal resistance. So how you can calculate the VTH and RTH? So there are different steps that you have to follow. So first step is what? The terminal of the branch or element through which the current is to be found out are marked as say A and B after removing the concerned branch or element. And what is the second step? Open circuit voltage BOC across these two terminals is found out using the conventional network by the mesh analysis or by the nodal analysis, or you can also apply the KVL and KCL, then you can find the VTH. So for calculating the VTH, what you have to do? Just you have to find out the voltage across two terminals, and that two terminals are suppose A and B. So just you find the voltage VTH. And what is the third step? Thevenin resistance RTH is found out by the method depending upon whether the network contains dependent source or not. Suppose there is a dependent source, then how you can calculate the Thevenin resistance RTH? So RTH can be calculated equal to BOC, that is open circuit voltage, divided by the short circuit current. Now you have to find the Thevenin resistance when there is a no dependent source. So RTH can be calculated as it is equal to the equivalent resistance looking into the concerned terminal with all voltage and current source replaced by their internal impedances. If you are discussing about the AC circuit, then you have to say that all the energy sources are replaced by the internal impedance. If we are talking about the DC circuit, then all the ideal voltage source or ideal current source will be replaced by their internal resistance. So next and last step to calculate the BTH and RTH, replace whole network with the BTH, that is a Thevenin voltage, in series with the resistance RTH and the concerned branch resistance, that is a load resistance, in this way. So here you can notice this voltage is BTH and this resistance RTH is connected in series, and this one is a load resistance. So if you have to find the current flowing through this load resistance IL, so IL is equal to what? IL is equal to this total voltage BTH, and these two resistance are connected in series. So ITH is equal to what? BTH upon RTH plus RL, where RL is a load resistance, where you were interested to calculate the value of the current, or you were interested to find out the value of the voltage, and this RTH is a Thevenin resistance, or you can say equivalent resistance, looking from two terminal A and B, while all independent energy sources are replaced by their internal resistance. And this Thevenin voltage is nothing but it is a open circuit voltage across two terminal. So these are the steps how you can calculate the Thevenin voltage and Thevenin resistance, and after the getting the equivalent circuit of the Thevenin voltage, you can easily find out the value of the load resistance. Suppose now you have to find out the voltage across this load resistance RL or across the terminal AB. So what will be the voltage across RL? So this voltage can be termed as VAB or VL equal to this current IL multiplied by this load resistance RL. Then you can easily calculate the voltage drop across load resistance RL. Now we have to understand what is the application of this Thevenin theorem. Why we are using this Thevenin theorem if we can calculate the current and voltage with help of the KBL and KCL. At the same time, you can also calculate the current and voltage by using the mesh analysis and nodal analysis. So here you can notice Thevenin theorem is useful in analyzing the circuit having a variable load resistance. You can see this is a variable load resistance. For example, in electrical power system, load is varying continuously, therefore it is very difficult to calculate the current. In that type of circuit problem, the Thevenin theorem is very useful to calculate the current across the variable load. Here you can again understood, like suppose here resistance is 5 ohm, then resistance is 10 ohm, and you have to find out the current suppose when load resistance is 2 ohm. So again and again you have to apply the mesh analysis. First suppose load resistance is 5 ohm, then you have to apply the mesh analysis. Now again someone is asking, now you find out the load current if this resistance is 10 ohm, then again you have to apply the mesh analysis. But what is the beauty of Thevenin theorem? Beauty of Thevenin theorem is, if you want to calculate the load current for the variable load resistance, so just you have to find the value of the Thevenin voltage and Thevenin resistance, and what you have to change only the load resistance. Like suppose you have to calculate the current IL at resistance is equal to 5 ohm. So value of the Thevenin voltage and Thevenin resistance will always be the same. What you are going to change, that is load resistance. So IL is equal to what? BTH upon RTH plus RL. So RTH and RL is fixed. BTH and RTH is fixed. Just change the value of the load resistance 2 ohm. You can easily find out the current value of the load current. Then you have to find out the current at suppose 10 ohm. Then just change the value of the load resistance 10 ohm. You can easily find out the current load resistance IL. Similarly, you can calculate the load current for any value of the load resistance. Now with help of the one example, you can calculate the BTH and RTH. Suppose this is a circuit having a this voltage 48 voltage source, and you have to find out the current or voltage across this load resistance 5 kilo ohm. So what is the first step? First step is what? just you replace this branch resistance or load resistance. So that means you make it open circuit. So this circuit can be replaced by this circuit, right? So whatever the voltage across AB, it will be the BTH, or you can say Thevenin voltage, because it is a open circuit. So whatever the voltage you are calculating this terminal A and B, it will be termed as Thevenin voltage. Here you can see how to calculate the Thevenin voltage A and B, because whatever the voltage across A and B, because potential at this point is equal to the voltage at this point, because there is no current flowing through this 8 ohm resistance, because it is an open circuit, so there is no current. So whatever the voltage across 4 kilo ohm is equal to the voltage across A and B. That means if you are interested to calculate the voltage across 4 kilo ohm, you must know the value of the current flowing through this 4 kilo ohm. So how the current will flow, you can see here. So there is only one voltage source, 48 volts. So whatever the current is flowing, it will flow only in this direction, because it is open circuit, so no current will go through in this 8 kilo ohm. So what will be the current in this circuit? This 48 voltage divided by this total resistance, that is 12 kilo ohm plus 4 kilo ohm. So I equal to what? 48 divided by 12 plus 4, that means 48 divided by 16. That means 3 milliampere. So in this circuit only 3 milliampere current is flowing. Now because you are interested to calculate the Thevenin voltage BTH. So BTH is equal to what? BTH is equal to this current flowing through this 4 kilo ohm multiplied by this current. So BTH is equal to what? Current, that is I, that is 3 milliampere, which is flowing through 4 kilo ohm and multiplied by this 4 kilo ohm. So BTH is equal to I into 4 kilo ohm, that means 3 milliampere multiplied by 4 kilo ohm. So it comes 12 volts. So this is a Thevenin voltage. Now you have calculated the Thevenin voltage. Second step is what? You have to find the Thevenin equivalent resistance. So Thevenin equivalent resistance is what? Thevenin equivalent resistance is the equivalent resistance looking from two terminal into a network, while all independent energy sources are replaced by their internal resistance. So there was one ideal voltage source, so it is replaced by short circuit. Now you have to find the equivalent resistance, because you are looking from terminal A and B. So here you can see, because just you assume that some imaginary current is flowing, let this current is flowing from this direction, and this current will be divided in this branch and in this branch. So whenever current is divided in these two branches, that means these two branches are in parallel. So 4 kilo ohm is in parallel with 12 kilo ohm, and equivalent of these two branches will be added with 8 kilo ohm. So what will be the RTH or equivalent resistance? RTH is equal to what? 4 kilo ohm is parallel with 12 kilo ohm, and you add with this 8 kilo ohm. So it is coming equivalent of this 4 and 12 is 4, and add with this one. So it is coming 11 kilo ohm. So equivalent resistance looking from terminal AB, or you can say Thevenin resistance, is what? 11 kilo ohm. So you have calculated Thevenin voltage, that is a 12 volt, and you have also calculated the Thevenin resistance 11 kilo ohm. Just you connect this RTH in series with the Thevenin voltage, and what the resistance that you was replaced, that is load resistance 5 kilo ohm, you connect here. Here you can see now this RTH is in series with the 5 kilo ohm. Now you have to find the current flowing through this terminal AB, or current through this load resistance 5 kilo ohm. So this IL is equal to what? BTH divided by this resistance RTH plus this 5 kilo ohm. So IL is equal to what? BTH upon RTH plus RL. And what is the value of BTH? That is 12 volt divided by this 11 kilo ohm plus 5 kilo ohm. So it is 12 upon 16. So this IL current is equal to what? 0.75 milliampere. So by the Thevenin theorem, you have calculated the load current 7.75 milliampere. Now you are interested to calculate the voltage across terminal A and B. So voltage across terminal A and B, BAB is equal to what? Current flowing through this resistance, load resistance RL, multiplied by this load resistance RL. So BL is equal to what? IL multiplied by RL. IL is equal to what? 0.75 milliampere, and RL is equal to what? 5 kilo ohm. So just multiply these two factors, so it is coming BL is equal to 3.75 volt. So in this session we have discussed the two basic theorem, that is a superposition theorem and Thevenin theorem. In the next section we will discuss another two theorem like Norton theorem and maximum power transfer theorem. Thank you very much.